Hi everyone, Miranda Patrone back with you just to do a quick video on how I made that heart stone. I actually ordered some silicone molds that I'm waiting for online, but they still haven't come, so I got impatient and decided just to try something. I bought a bunch of these cookie cutters at my Dollar Tree just to test them out and see if they worked, and apparently it did. So all I did was take one of these cookie cutters, and it's got a thicker edge on one side, so that was the edge I actually put down on a surface like wax paper or something that you can just pop the plaster off of. And so I put it down on, this was actually the surface I used. It was just a plastic piece of Tupperware from the dollar store as well, that you could just kind of push on the bottom a little bit to pop it out. So I just put my little heart cookie cutter in there, and then I am using high grade Potter's plastic, and this one is from Capital Ceramics, and it's the high strength one, so it's not just the generic molding stuff, it's the high grade, pretty thick, but it's lightweight once it's finished. And so for this one, I have to mix half a cup of water about for the molds for the dotting company. It's half a cup of water to 1 cup of plaster. So I just mixed up the same amount for my little cookie cutter because it's about the same, if not, it's a little bit less for the cookie cutter. And I just mixed that up together here in a Tupperware, just because I find that's easy cleanup, because I can just, once it's dry, crack it and pop it out. And so I just put the water in first usually, and then the plaster isn't flying everywhere. And then I need 1 cup of the Potter's plaster. And I kind of just stir as I go to make sure that I get it thoroughly stirred. And you don't have to move insanely fast with it, but it does start to set pretty quickly once you get it in a mold, so I like to just get it decently quickly done so that it doesn't start to get too thick on me. And I mean, I'm vigorous and everything, and I've only had a couple times where I get a bubble in it. So you could let it sit for a minute after to let the bubbles out and just kind of pop them on it, or be less vigorous with it. But I just want to make sure all the lumps and everything are out of it. And this one is a lighter color than the gypsum, which is not a big deal. The color doesn't really matter, but I still only had to use one coat of the matte black to cover it with a base coat before I painted it. So it was not that big of a deal. So this is, like I said, it's going to be too much for this little heart mold, which is fine because I have other molds that I'm going to pour it into here, but I just wanted to quickly show you how I did this mold. I'm just making sure I got all the lumps out of it here. Alright, so then I just poured it in to that heart. And I didn't hit the top because I wanted to use this side for the painting side. And then I just kind of pushed it down to seal it to the bottom of the Tupperware basically while it dries. See, a little bit came out, but it's going to crack off the back anyway. And you can always sand that down if you want. And then I let it sit and dry. Alright. So we have had some time pass now, and you can see I filled a couple other things here, but we have our heart. And it just kind of pops right up from the tin here. Yes, buddy, are you talking to me? You want to say hi to Mama's friends? Boy, let's get my camera unhooked here. You have a jelly face. Did you just wake up? Can you say hi? No, you just woke up. You don't feel like saying hi? Okay. Maybe in a minute you'll feel up to it. Alright, so if I turn my cookie cutter over here, alright, sorry about that. So you can see I just kind of peeled the excess off the sides here. And it's going to crack, the bottom's going to crack a little bit too, just because this cookie cutter was not meant to be used from this angle. But then I just kind of wiggled it around a little here to break the seal around the edges. Alright, so I was wiggling it to just kind of crack the seal on the base here till I pop it through, and then I just pushed it up through the cookie cutter. So this actually leaves nice smooth sides too if you want to paint the sides as well. That would be a pretty design also. And you can see the bottom is not the prettiest, but it's not impossible to work with. You could just kind of sand it down, and I don't know, I could even leave it like that and just sign the back, just paint it black. And then maybe put it on a stand after you paint it, or just kind of set it down on a shelf or something, whatever you want to do with it. But that was how I made this one, because I was being impatient and not waiting for the silicone molds that I ordered to come. But you could use probably even the silicone muffin tins or different other kinds of cookie cutters. That I know they have other softer ones. And since I hate wasting, I actually poured the leftover into one of my palettes. And I've done this before with some of the leftovers. Oh, ice cube trays might work too, because you can crack them. I just thought of that now. But anyway, so yeah, I poured the leftover into these. And then what I did was I put magnets on the back of them. And then the other ones, these aren't painted yet, but the other ones I painted little mandalas on them and had magnets for my fridge. So it's just a fun way to not waste the plaster that you have. If you do have some left over, don't fret, just you could put it in a palette or something else. Just be creative. So that was how I did it, and that was all from the mold that was from the Heavy Dotting Company, where you did the stone, from the plaster. And she used gypsum, which came out pretty nice too, but this is the plaster stone. And the plaster, again, what I used was the Capital Ceramics High Strength 20 plaster. And this actually was only 20 minutes, and it's already dry, and I've painted them from half an hour on. So I hope that you found that helpful. A lot of you were asking how I made the heartstone, and that was how. So I hope you found this helpful for future crafting, and I hope it opened up new ideas for you. Like I said, the ice cube tray just came to mind too. And making things out of, I hate to waste it, so I made magnets, painted magnets, and gave them for gifts. Just so I didn't waste. Alright, so if you're looking for my other videos, you can just click the subscribe button and you will see all my other videos and all the new ones that come out as well. And I'm also on Instagram and Facebook if you're looking for more of my art or other ways to interact. I'm on there as well. Alright, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all again soon.